I'm going to tell you I have no YouTube on here. Because I don't have all the apps on here yet. Dang.
Hello, everybody. This is Susan Hyder.
There you are.
We are not going to be live on
That's my Facebook.
radio.
You put that on your live, not on TuneIn Radio.
No, I know, because I can't figure out this stupid new thing. I can't even figure out how to.
Shh.
It's playing. Ow. My new. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hangout. All things arts and crafts with Wanda here tonight,
Hi, everybody.
and we've got Gabe over here, and Rick over here looking at things in the background. For those of you that normally join us on live on Facebook, that will not be happening anymore, so it will be live on YouTube. When you go to the Tuned In Radio page on Facebook, you can find the link, click there, go ahead and join us there on the live. And then also the live on the radio with the app, tunedinradio.us, and you can hear us there. Then also, if you want to ask us any questions, go to the live on YouTube. Can we do the live on the studio at Tuned In Radio yet, Rick, at the same time, or no?
You can do, yeah, you can do
Studio at tunedinradio.us. Gabe can see your questions there also.
or just make comments on YouTube.
Yes, go to YouTube and make the comments, and he'll read them, and he'll ask Wanda all the questions, especially you good-looking guys.
Oh, yes, please. Single, looking for Mr. He'll do, as always. So let me know how old you are, how wide you are, and how much income you produce. And I'll answer any question except when are you going to pay me that money you owe me? So
Yeah. Okay.
that universal answer is next month. Yeah, next month. I promise, next month.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, it's in the mail.
So anyway, we're going to push our YouTube channel. So subscribe, and it will notify you like before. And I'm going to send out a few notices to people that have been watching that we're going to move over to YouTube, and it'll be better because the picture will be better, and you can watch
Yeah.
it on TV and all kinds of neat stuff. On to current events. The Museum Center at 5 Points Old Christmas celebration was on there, and it is on YouTube, so you can go back and look at that. And it's ended the 6th of January, but they had some really neat stories. So go back and listen to the stories.
Because I was going to ask you what that was.
Okay, Old Christmas is the celebration that originally it came from where the wise men finally got to where Jesus was, and supposedly it occurred around January 6th. But there also are some other old Christmas stories, and you'll have to look at them all on there to see what the old Christmas,
Okay.
the real down and dirty story about them is.
So it took the wise men a while to find the place. Somebody must have known a shortcut.
And they went a long way around, right?
They wouldn't stop for directions. They were men.
Maybe the camels tried.
Yeah.
And then the downtown Christmas lights, everybody raise your hands who loves those or who's seen them or whatever. They are going to keep them down there until Valentine's Day.
Nice.
So that means we got to go to the shop and put some red stuff and take the Christmas stuff down and put some Valentine's stuff in the window, but leave the lights up. But the lights downtown are going to be there, and you can take your honey and walk and look at the lights. It is so cool.
They
It's
are
so
beautiful.
So pretty and romantic, and I've seen people taking awesome pictures with the lights So, Gabe, maybe you got to go down there take some pictures. You think you can make me want to look glamorous if we go down there and take a picture with that reindeer?
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
How many bags do you have?
Oh, no. So, anyway, that'll be coming up. Of normal every week, they got the story time with Dewey the Komodo dragon at the library.
They have a Komodo dragon?
They have Dewey the Komodo dragon.
My goodness.
And they read stories. He doesn't read. It's somebody else at the library reads.
Yeah,
He's there.
yeah, Dewey's probably a little slow on it.
Yeah. Don't forget the Artist Here partnership. The Artist Eye on Facebook and myself. And we're still trying to get the spaces for our mural on the back of the shop sold so we can make the fundraiser for the Artist Here partnership. So we're trying to raise $1,400 for them and get the mural on the back and another artsy place for the people to come and see in Cleveland. And so contact me or the Artist Eye, and his email, he's the Artist Eye on Facebook, and then his email is theartistiebayless@gmail.com. So either one of us can tell you a little bit more about that, and he's supposed to be having when I get my poster, whatever, with it, I'll bring it.
Yeah, and it's not just for businesses to buy
Right.
the squares. Individuals can do it too, and they can also turn one of the big squares into 4 smaller squares.
Right. The smaller squares you can get, it makes it affordable for everybody.
Yes, and it's a nifty idea. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes. Another beautiful spot in Cleveland. We are going to have a round robin quilt top event.
Yes,
You know what a round robin quilt top event is, Wanda?
just what you've told me about it,
That's
where
what we've told you about. Okay. A round robin quilt event, a quilt top event, is each person who is participating in it puts a small piece of fabric in a bag with their name, and the bag needs to be big enough so everybody who's had this can write their name on it, so that you make sure that we don't give the bags twice to somebody. So you give the fabric, put it in the bag, whatever you want to start with, or a block, or a part of a quilt, or something. Put it in the bag, and then we'll collect them through the end of the month. And as long as we have enough by the end of the month, in February, you can come back and get a bag and take it home and work on it. And once a month, you bring it back and get somebody else's bag. And at the end of it, depending on how many people participate, you get you a quilt top. And we try to encourage that people don't do just rows around it, like you get a little piece of fabric and you have nothing but rows around it. We encourage people to do blocks or
Yes.
applique or that kind of thing. And I will bring some more pieces. I could not quickly find my piece this week, but I'm going to try to find some more pieces and bring it in and show you what we've done in the past. But you come out with some really cool things, and you
Yes.
most of the time have a hard time remembering that, oh yeah, that's what I sent. So it's going to be out of Hyder Hangout, and if you just want to do curbside, we can do that. So just get a brown paper sack and put your name on the very top. This bag belongs to Wanda Elrod.
yes,
And then there's room for people to write their names once they take it home and sew on it and bring it back. So you don't even have to come in the shop to do it. I'm figuring this is something we can do even if we can't come to the shop anymore.
yes.
Which I hope that's not going to happen, because it looks like COVID might be on the downswing again.
Oh,
So
I hope so.
So I'm hoping, and I'm hopeful for that. And that is one thing coming up at Hyder Hangout. Wednesday Crafts for Everyone is Cleveland Public Library, 3 to 3:45 on Facebook Live, and you get your craft things the week before, and then usually they do something that you have stuff at home that you can grab it up and work on the craft. And they also have their Thursday 4:30 to 5:30 origami folding, and that's the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library Facebook Lives, both of those things, the crafts and the origami. And then nothing more this week, but upcoming, the segment next week is Rick Herman, and he also worked with the gentleman that we had last week, and they did a veterans art lessons, and they are asking for supplies to be donated. So this week, I'm hoping some people will come to Hyder Hangout, donate some art supplies, and I'll bring it to Rick. He will be on the show next Monday. But this is for the veterans art lessons, and then eventually they're going to do an art display of these guys that came in and did their art. Or if you don't have anything to donate, you can come in to Hyder Hangout and either donate money for Rick to pick something up, or we do have some art supplies that
Yes, that
I
you
will
could purchase.
give it to you at a very, very big discount. That if you're going to donate it to the veterans, I'll give you 50% off, and we can get them some supplies.
That's a really
wrapped
great
up.
idea because it's therapy for these veterans.
Yeah, it's therapy for the veterans because they're able to express feelings out on campus.
Yes.
So that's good. The only other thing, we have something that you might want to prepare for in about 3 weeks. Dads sometimes forget to get things started, but the AR workshop has February 6th, Saturday, at 4 to 7 p.m. is a daddy-daughter do-it-yourself date. It's $40, and the dad and the daughter go, and they make something together at AR workshop.
Oh, that's a
And
wonderful
I
idea.
think they have things that you can just pick out. That I don't think they have specifics for everybody has to do the same thing. I think they've got a bunch of different choices. So that's the upcoming events. Connie Isbell was going to be here tonight, but she had one of them terrible work days. She said it was terrible. She looked flaccid when I stopped into her shop, and is her shop beautiful?
Oh, gonna have to go over there.
Yeah, not only are her window dressings and her I guess that's an event room that you see when you go down Emmons Street. That's her event room, and then on the side is where you go in the actual florist shop, and she has little gifts, and then flowers and flowers and more flowers, and I saw some sunflowers in there today. But Connie has having one of them days, and today slipped up on her. She totally lost track. It's hard to keep track of everything when you're a business owner. So she says, "Oh, can I have a rain check?" So she's coming in 2 weeks from tonight. So she'll be in 2 weeks from tonight. So she said, "Can you find somebody?" So I said, "Well, Wanda Elrod does art and ukulele, but I don't think you brought your ukulele."
Didn't bring my ukulele.
She's a little shy with her ukulele, so we'll have that somewhere down the road 6 months from now.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and practice for the next time so that
Ukulele
I'll be able to
is
bring it in and play a few tunes. And trouble is, I have to sing while I play so you'll know what the song is. And I do not have a good singing voice. But
it's
I'll
okay.
inflict it on you guys.
It still sounds good, like especially if you sing hick songs.
They're all hick songs when they get the Wanda treatment.
Well, you don't sound that bad, Wanda. You just don't know. Everybody thinks that you don't.
Well,
sound good
thank
when
you.
So anyway,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You brought a few things.
Yes.
But we got some art, and we got your original art was you're a dental assistant. So she's going to tell us how to
brush your teeth. And then at the bottom of the hour, or after you do your craft tip, I actually have a tip for everyone out there too. So go ahead and get your pencils and paper ready because you're going to want to take my tip to heart.
Okay, it's anything having to do with the heart, right?
Well, yeah, more or less. Heart and a hammer. Well, yeah, and I do well with props. I brought my toothbrush, my dental floss. Susan's going to be my model here. I was a dental assistant for over 30 years, and one of the basic things we had to know was how to teach people to brush their teeth. And believe it or not, a lot of people do not know how to brush their teeth properly.
Is this a brand new toothbrush, or do I have to put your toothbrush in my mouth?
No, I actually broke down and purchased some new toothbrushes just for this event. And the first thing, you have to have the correct toothbrush. You always want a soft bristle brush.
Why?
Because medium bristles or hard bristles will wear the enamel and the dentin off of your teeth. That's where sensitive teeth come from, and the gums receding away from your teeth, when
So you mean chewing tobacco don't have anything to do with it?
Well, that does too. That's in my next lesson. But the first one's getting started correctly. But yes, hard bristle brushes and medium bristle brushes really make your teeth feel clean because they are great for brushing
So now she's going to put it all over the table. Then I got to put it in my mouth.
You can use the other end. One of the first things is remember to use the fuzzy end. That's first part of the lesson. Use the fuzzy end of the toothbrush in your mouth. If you use the other end, it's going to hurt, and it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. So use the fuzzy end. That's what it's there for. But as I was showing, a medium or hard brush is really good for just getting...
It's good for cleaning toilets when you're in the Navy.
Yes. Yeah. That's why you hide an extra toothbrush in your little gunny sack or whatever they call it that you take to the Navy. But soft bristles will actually curve around your teeth and get into the places that a hard bristle will miss. Hard bristles, if you've got 3 teeth and one's sticking out, it will get the one that's sticking out and miss the other 2 completely.
I have more than 3.
So use 2 brushes. There's no law against it. None that I've seen in the last few years.
Okay.
Yeah, never can tell these days. But yes, you take your soft brush, and I'm one of those people who like to floss before I brush to help get all the extra yuckies out of there.
Aren't you supposed to floss?
Yes, ma'am, you're supposed to floss because that gets places that your toothbrush, even the soft one, misses, where your teeth contact each other and under the gums. So if you use your floss first, you take off about an 18-inch piece of floss, and I'm not going to waste my flossing your teeth.
I'd break it all anyway because my teeth are so pushed together that I break the floss all day long.
Yeah. I can't advertise anybody's floss because they're not paying me, but there are some that I'll tell you privately that may work. May not work, but may work. But you take your 18 inches of floss and wind them around your birdie fingers on both hands.
Birdie fingers?
Yeah, this is a family-friendly show. That leaves you the other...
We don't want to get kicked off YouTube, right?
Yeah.
No,
that
we don't.
leaves you your nose-picking finger and your thumbs on each side to hold the floss to actually get between your teeth. And what you want to do is get the floss between your teeth and curl it around your tooth so that it's getting the front and the back of both sides and also goes down between the teeth under the gum. And you just slowly go up and down. You don't have to be really hard on your gums doing this. It's better not to because you can actually hurt your gums. But you want to do that
What do they say when you hurt them?
Ow!
Okay.
Yeah, don't your teeth talk to you?
No.
Oh, well, maybe it's my medication. Anyway, mine do. So you want to floss around and be sure and get behind the last teeth on your uppers and lowers. That's a place where you can't get to with your toothbrush easily. So flossing back behind those is one of those things you really want to remember how to do. And after you've flossed and spit out all the green gunk from the broccoli you had for lunch, you can go ahead and attack your teeth with your soft toothbrush. Now,
Attack?
these people playing their video games, that's the kind of words they know. Attack. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can just be gentle, which is what you're supposed to be. Gently attack. So, your toothpaste. Basically, you want to get something that tastes good. There are people, I'm one of them, who are really sensitive, that's good, to tartar control toothpaste. So if you're sensitive to anything like that, choose a different one. I also shy away.
What do you mean sensitive? Like you're allergic to it?
Well, it makes my teeth ache when I use it. Something in their formulas actually caused me to start having toothaches. And then I think I'm having a sinus infection, but it turns out it was just the toothpaste. So that's kind of
interesting. I never heard of that one before.
Yeah, I'm pretty rare. I'm a pretty rare bird, you know. But just put on the toothpaste like you normally would, or Prince Charles's butler would do for him. And go ahead and start, usually the upper right back. It depends on which handed you are. Me being left-handed, I usually start on the upper right back teeth. Being right-handed, you probably start upper left. You haven't even thought of that, have you?
Depends on which hand I grab the toothbrush with.
So you're kind of an ambidextrous brusher.
Yeah, I'm ambidextrous, all right.
Most people would give their right arm to be ambidextrous. Wouldn't do much good then, though.
No, they'd be one-handed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you're shooting for is getting on the gum and on the tooth, gum and tooth. So you're going to use about a 45-degree angle and just gently make small circles around the tooth. And you keep going down about one tooth at a time, brushing them all like that. And then you can come back and go over the rest of the tooth. And then you want to do the biting edge of your teeth.
Okay, what's the
then-
biting edge?
The occlusal.
Oh, she's cursing again.
Cursing at you. I don't even know if they put that on Jeopardy, you know? But just
So
to take up a brain cell, the biting surface of your teeth is the occlusal. That's improper grammar in a couple places, I'm sure. But anyway, you do that. Then you go on the back side and do the same thing there with a 45-degree angle, hitting the gums and then the teeth.
So it would take you a while to brush your teeth correctly.
At least 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've always heard the 2-minute thing.
Yes, if you can manage it in 2 minutes, you're doing well. If it takes less than 2 minutes, you're probably not doing it well, or you're from Alabama.
What does that got to do with Alabama?
Well, you know the toothbrush was invented in Alabama, don't you?
No, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Anywhere else, it would have been the teeth brush.
Oh my goodness.
An oldie but a goodie.
I never heard that one before. But those of you from Alabama that are listening,
Yes, I offended
please
you.
forgive us.
If you understood that, I apologize.
If you didn't, it doesn't matter, right?
Right. And as a last sure way.
Gabe is not from Alabama.
Oh, good, Gabe.
Every time he
Sorry.
smiles,
Wouldn't
you
wanna
see
offend you.
big, wonderful smile over there with lots of teeth. It went over his head. Yeah.
Oh, dear. Okay. Glad I explained it then. And on your back lower teeth, and also your back upper teeth, you want to go in at about the 45-degree angle and just brush up and down on the backs of those teeth individually, just working your way around. And that way you get between the teeth there and also get the backs of those well.
Can't do that on my bottom teeth.
Yeah, yours are all jumbled up.
Well, my gum goes all the way from the back of my jaw to the very edge of my back tooth.
Okay, you probably have what's called a tori, which is...
I'm special.
She's special.
Tori.
Yeah, Dennis would love you.
I have extra eyes.
It's an abnormal growth of normal bone. So, there's another $10 word. But it's no big deal as long as it doesn't really interfere with you brushing your teeth. And after you finish brushing all your little twofers, the next thing you want to do is hit a couple licks at your tongue, because
I got a new phone, y'all, and I don't know how to work it.
well, that did something. So if anybody has any questions regarding teeth brushing or any other question except when I'm going to pay you, just go ahead and let us know. I believe there are several ways of doing that, and I'd be more than happy to answer some questions. That would make it a lot more interesting.
So anyway, we're about 26 minutes after, and I didn't even get.
They just don't believe you, that you don't want to talk to them.
And I don't know how to mute this stupid thing yet. Obviously, I thought I had it muted.
Oh, dear.
Who do I know from Arkansas that's trying to call me? If you're trying to call me from Arkansas, you need to go on YouTube or tunedinradio.us and then tell me, and then I'll answer it.
Well, I know what it is. The Arkansas people, or this person, is really angry because they had always heard that the tooth was... I can talk, I promise. They had always heard that the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas, and they're taking offense to me saying it was
jealous.
from Alabama. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Never mind, Arkansas. You guys can still claim...
Everybody's
Lovely.
interrupting the show tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Arkansas can still lay claim to being the people who created the toothpick. We'll give them that one.
Okay. How did they create the toothpick?
Anybody else, it would have been teeth pick.
Oh gosh, I should have got.
Fell
I
for
should
it
have seen that one. I
You know that siren was for you.
Yes, they're coming to get me.
Oh no. Well, I didn't ask her how she got into our art yet because we didn't even get to the art part
We got to
yet.
get to the art. We'll do
Well,
that
well-
bottom of the hour.
Well, yeah, we got a few more minutes until the bottom of the hour. Do you have anything else to tell us about teeth?
No. I was going to tell you about this new car I bought. You know, I had to buy a car because I kept running into things and the
Things
insurance.
running into you.
Yes.
See, they're still
kind
coming
of
to get you.
annoying. They're
What did I tell you?
backing up. Maybe because of this car.
Okay, so tell us about the new car.
Well, I actually had to go to Knoxville to get it. It was a Venezuelan car. I still can't pronounce the name of it, but it was made in Venezuela. And on the dashboard, it has this big red button that says, "Do not push." I have no clue why they would put a button like that on a car. And the owner's manual is written in Portuguese or whatever language they use in Venezuela, so I couldn't get any information from there. So I was sitting at a red light, and I just pushed the big red button. And this voice comes over the speaker system saying, "Never push the big red button. Do not do this again." So I just kind of went on my way. And a few days later, I was thinking about the big red button because it's right there in front of my field of vision when I'm trying to drive. So I said, "Surrey, push the big red button." And Surrey said, "What are you, stupid? Can't you read? They've already told you not to push the big red button. I'm sure not going to push the big red button." And I messed that up because I was supposed to set up something else on it. But anyway, that's my Venezuelan car joke. Yeah, for what it's worth. Number 23.
So okay, so Siri wouldn't push the button for you.
Right, because she's not stupid. But I was supposed to say that the Venezuelan, the first time they said, "What are you, stupid?" so that I could say, "Siri said, what are you, stupid?" So I messed that one up. I'll tell it again the next time I'm on, and everyone will have forgotten it by then, and I'll do it right next time.
A little slow on the drums too.
Yeah, bum. But before we get into my art, let me go ahead and give you my handy dandy tip. I was actually reading a magazine that I'd
You
gotten.
were reading a magazine.
Looking at pictures mostly. See, it's a picture
Oh,
with
okay.
just a little bit of writing. So I got the cat to read it to me. But I had gotten this magazine about 4 months ago and finally getting around to look at it. But it had a picture hanging hack. And this never happens to me because I'm perfect. But I know the rest of our audience isn't. It's just one of those things. But it says,
I'm going to move over, Gabe, because I think there might be lightning hitting pretty soon.
that happens to me quite a bit. I have a lot of trees go down in my yard. But it says getting the wire to catch the nail's head isn't always as easy as it sounds. Well, duh. To eliminate frustration, slip a fork onto the nail and slide the wire over the fork until it's hooked on the nail. Then pull out the fork. So that's just a little tidbit when you're hanging pictures.
Yeah. And you do this number, click, click,
Yes.
click, trying to get the wire to get on the nail however many times, and then trying to reach over the picture and try to hold the wire out, and you still can't get it.
And
Yes.
then the nail falls out of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then you got to go find the nail and put it back in. And so all you got to go in the kitchen and get a fork.
Yes.
Does a plastic fork work, you think?
Depends on how heavy your pitcher is.
Yeah, if you use a plastic fork, you might not have to take the fork out after you got the wire on there.
That's true.
It might just break all up and fall on the floor.
Well, it depends on where you get the plastic fork, too. If you get it at Crystal, well, they probably don't do those because they have chili, but it might be a spork. Now, a plastic spork would probably work and you wouldn't have to take it out.
Yep.
Sporks are very good defensive weapons for hand-to-hand combat type situations.
Okay.
Trust me on this one.
Okay. Well, can I say my weekly craft tip too?
Yes, please.
Okay. Since all of us or most of us are affording refrigerators that have the automatic ice makers in
Yes.
them, the old ice cube trays that you don't need anymore, and there's 50 million of them at, like Habitat's got stacks of them.
Yes,
You
they
can
do.
use those for do-it-yourself small parts trays, such as for beading, or people who need a bunch of different little nails for different projects, like if you're doing an artsy project with a bunch of different nails or other small items, or if you have just a few things in your junk drawer, you can use those to put all these little small things in the dividers and organize it. So you can use the ice trays for a reused.
That's a pretty nifty idea.
Yeah,
keep saying
instead of all
nifty.
those
I'm
ice
not
trays
old.
that'll end up in the scrapyard and in the landfill, we can keep them and use them for beading trays or whatever. Actually, you can use them for paint trays too.
Yes, that would be good, especially a paint by number type situation where you have so many, and nowadays you blend those too. So,
Yeah. Do you have any questions yet from anybody?
No, not yet.
Not yet. But if you are on there and seeing us on YouTube, or if you're seeing the recording later on, please go down below and go to the subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel. Put the like button for this video and share this video. The more we get, the better it'll be.
yes, please, because I'd like to come back, and they may let me come back if we get enough positive feedback or enough questions for me to need to come back and answer a bunch.
Yeah, there'll be people calling.
That'd be awesome.
My goats won't because they only have bottom teeth. Or
Yeah.
top teeth. What is it? Top teeth. No, bottom.
Bottom teeth, I
I
think.
forgot. I've been bit before, but I forget. They
I
have
actually looked that up once and can't remember.
they have very hard top gums. Oh, they're very hard.
Like a camel does.
Yes. So anyway, okay. Well, we're going to talk to Rhonda now about her art, and she does play ukulele. And
Yes, I do.
Also, she does art, and I think she brought a few things. But the first question I always ask the artist is, how did you get into your art? So how did you start painting?
Well, I actually started about 25 years ago when I was working at Dr. Stanberry's office. His
And
wife...
that's a dentist, by the
Yes,
way.
that's the dentist office during the career period. His wife and I signed up for an art class at Cleveland State, one of those evening art classes. And there's this little old man teaching it. And he was big on the paint what you see kind of thing.
So
and-
realistic painting.
Well, not really.
Oh,
because
see what you say. The art is in the eye of the beholder.
No, He would be up there painting a picture, and all we would see is the back of his lab coat he wore. So I have about half a dozen paintings of a gray lab coat. Did really well with the shading and different things like that, but that was really all I ever saw in the class. But I could go home, and I would be so angry and frustrated at the little gray lab coat that I would actually do some pretty good pictures, pretty good in my opinion. I gave one of my pictures as a gift to my Aunt Mildred, very sweet older lady. And whenever I presented the picture to her, she said, "Well, Wanda, there's not a thing in the world wrong with that." And apparently that was supposed to be a high compliment from her. But now she stores the painting in the back of her closet in her spare room where she never goes.
So was it a gray lab coat?
No, it was actually a pretty nice, just pastoral scene with a fence and a house and stick figures, people, whole family.
Stick figure people?
Yeah, he never got to portrait painting type of thing or humans.
So he just got to the how to paint the trees and the
Yes.
bushes and the stuff. And
Yeah, he wasn't exactly Bob Ross caliber. His trees weren't happy little shrubs or anything like that, but the little stick figures all wore little gray lab coats. So we had a little consistency there.
Yeah, I see that. So there was these farmers with lab coats on.
Yes, for no reason.
So 25 years ago, you started painting.
Yes, and that was in acrylics, which are a lot easier to paint with because you don't have the drying time that you have with oils. And as messy as I am, I didn't ruin quite as many clothes with the acrylic because sometimes it would actually wash out and I wouldn't have to go to work wearing a smock with a big handprint and different colored paints on it. So that worked out well.
So have you done watercolor too, or no?
No watercolors.
Okay, so you brought some tonight.
Yes, and I've always heard that you can tell the caliber of an artist by how they transport their pictures. You know, how much care they take with their pictures to keep them safe. And I have mine in a pillowcase. But it's
Some of the artists that have come in here before have had them in nothing.
they couldn't even afford a pillowcase? Now that is a starving artist. But
Before you undo that, Pamela Grady says, not a question, just wanted to say, howdy, Wanda.
howdy, Cousin Pam. This is my Cousin Pam from Georgia.
Oh, okay. Hi, Pam. She
Hey,
talks
Pam.
about you a lot,
Yes. And
at least once a day at work.
oh, yes. And Cousin Pam actually took these art classes with me. We went to Chatsworth to Little Rome, which was is the lasagna place, the world's best lasagna, Little Rome, Georgia. Y'all owe me free food, Little Rome. But we had a really nice lady who was our fearless leader on this, and she didn't really stand in front of the pictures that she was painting, which was 100% better teacher than the little old man in the lab coat. So I really appreciated that. But
So did you paint in the restaurant?
yes,
Oh, so you had classes and you were able to eat spaghetti and have classes at the same time.
oh yes.
Well, that sounds pretty neat.
Uh-huh. And occasionally we had classes at the Senior Citizen Center in Chatsworth, which was also a nice facility. But we all loved Little Rome better because we had food.
And wine.
No, this was before they started having wine.
Oh,
So
okay.
you had to sneak your own in a flask. Or multiple flasks, in my case, because it didn't hold enough. You know, just one really good glass of wine is all a typical flask will hold. Fortunately, I had 2 back pockets on my jeans, so I kept my hip flask in my hip pockets.
Gabe's over there laughing. I don't know if he knows if you're serious or not, but
Is my mouth moving?
yeah, you're not serious.
I'm not serious. But anyway,
Wild women.
this is not one of my better pillowcases. But it still counts. I haven't given this one over to the dog yet. So I felt like it was appropriate to bring tonight, and it was also the first one I came across in the closet. So my art is all in a pillowcase. And I'm just going to bring these out one by one and show you.
I don't know how many she brought, but she has them all over her house.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to bring this over here. Same place as normal, right, Gabe?
Yep.
Is that good?
That's good.
Can you get a good? This
I
one.
like the colors on this.
Well, thank you. I really did too. And on this one, the teacher actually drew the coffee cups for us. So that was already done on the canvas. And she let us sort of have our way as far as the colors went. But she had her son dole out the different colors to our little foam plates that we used as palettes. So we were kind of limited. As you can tell, she didn't give us any blue paint this particular day, which is probably a good thing. You know how blue paint is. But we were able to...
How is blue paint?
Well, I don't know. I just assumed you knew. Somebody's got to know. If you know about the blue paint, please let us know. Pam, ball's in your court. But anyway, we have some nice colors on this, and this one actually lives in my bedroom now, where I don't actually use coffee cups. But that's where my nephew Joe hung it. And it's up high, so it's hard for me to get down, so I've left it. And I really like the greens in it. I wasn't too sure about the weird stripes of color all around it, but it does sort of add something to it. It makes it a little more dynamic, which with coffee cups, anything you can do is good. Here's another
That's a
distraction.
radio telephone. I don't know if they're trying to ask a question or not.
No, it's not upside down.
But anyway, you guys are gonna laugh. My elbow just told me where YouTube was on my new phone. I put the.
Well, that's nice.
I hit the YouTube, and here we are on the show, on my phone now.
Oh, good. Hi, YouTube people.
I couldn't. My new phone, all the icons look different. So my elbow just found the YouTube for me, Gabe. Now I've got us. Is that not interesting? So was that an important call?
No.
So it wasn't the midget calling to get a job.
No.
Man, we're still trying to get a midget for a job, you know.
You know, I don't have to wear heels. I would qualify as a midget.
Oh, I like this one too.
Yes, and
Now
she
this has blue on it.
yes, she gave us blue that night. That was a different project. She drew this out for us in outlines. That's my Charlie Brown tree for folks at home playing by radio. And it turned out really cute, I thought. She had us do the little needles, kind of our interpretation of the Charlie Brown tree.
So she actually said, here's a Charlie Brown tree. That's what you're going to paint.
Yes. And she would paint along with us also, and that would be a help because she would have helpful tips for us while we were painting, such as use the bristly end of the brush. You'd be surprised in Chatsworth how many people needed that advice at our first meeting. But that's a cute Charlie Brown tree that lives in my living room, and he was my Christmas tree this year.
Did you put presents under him?
No, I have cats and a dog. You don't put presents around at animal level at my house because it's going to get torn open or peed on or laid on or all of the above.
Pamela Grady answered your question
Yes.
because it dries too quickly. About the blue.
Oh, okay. Yes, it dries too quickly. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate you taking time to watch the show tonight. Pam actually teaches a special ed class at one of the schools in Murray County, and she is also having to be a bus driver this year because COVID, they can't get enough personnel to drive buses.
Wow.
but she's a really sharp lady. I'm going to say good things about you, Pam. I expect you to buy my dinner next time.
She says you're welcome.
Now, this is the type of painting that I had done and given to my Aunt Mildred, only hers had a fence, and there wasn't a thing in the world wrong with it at that point. This is our little log cabin we did, and there's a lot of lines and angles on this one, trying to get the distances right, or the, what am I trying to say here?
Is it perspective?
Yes, the perspective correct on it. And I think I did pretty well on it. One of the nice things about acrylics also, if you don't just wipe it off really quick when you make a mistake, usually you can just chill out a little while and then go back and paint over it, which I did a few times on this. But it's just log cabin with trees and pointy mountains and a little blue sky, but snow on the ground.
Oh, I had to look from the front because from the back it looks brown. I guess if the canvas is a little bit brown, I was like, snow?
Yeah, dirty
And
snow.
now I see that because from the back here, this looks like mountains and sand down here. See the difference?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's two-sided. I like that.
It's these big lights in here.
Yes,
Big lights.
you can just see right through it. And one thing the teacher taught us is to go around the side of the picture also. Don't just stop on the front.
So how do you pick the picture up when you get ready to move it?
Well, the idea is to go ahead and paint it on 3 sides, and then after those 3 sides dry, you can turn it over and do the bottom.
Oh, okay.
You want to ask me how I did it? See,
I see fingerprints on the sides. I don't think that's how you did it.
yeah.
And that's how come you got messy.
Yes.
She paints like I do, guys. And if Chris Hyder is out there, he'll agree, because every time we paint a wall, I have to make sure I have my painting clothes on because they've already been ruined.
Yes. Did you know that Hitler was a really good painter? Yeah, he was really good. He could do an entire apartment in one afternoon, 2 coats.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
I still haven't got it. Gabe got it. Explain it.
You want me to explain it?
Maybe I
Listen to the one just told you.
Yes, he was a wonderful painter. He could do an entire apartment in one afternoon, 2 coats. Okay. I think she got it now.
Now she got it.
I have to give credit for that one to Mel Brooks from his movie The Producers.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I don't usually bring up Nazis during radio shows, but
Mel Brooks made her do it.
yes, Mel Brooks made me do it.
That explains it.
Brilliant man.
And pretty too.
Yes,
He's good to look at.
It's good to look at. Okay, and this one,
That's beautiful. That's my second favorite colors is yellows and reds.
oh really?
Yeah, my first is purples, and then my second favorite is yellows and reds.
Well, I would give you this one if you'd like, if you're not going to put it in the back of the closet,
Why would I put it in the back of the closet?
because there's not a thing in the world wrong with it. But I love lighthouses, and so it was a lot of fun doing this lighthouse. And there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's sunset at a lighthouse sitting on rocks with quite a few waves coming in. And we did get to use a lot of interesting brushes doing this. It wasn't just a one brush fits all. We got to use fan brushes and different
You use fan
bristle
brushes
links.
on the waves.
Yes, for the
I
white
love
caps.
I love those waves. Can y'all see that? I moved my fingers out of the way because those waves are awesome.
Thank you.
I can almost smell and feel them.
I think you can find a good place in your closet to showcase this picture.
It won't go in the closet. If I get it, it'll either go with the rest of the art at my house in my, we got like a, what do we call that? It's not a me hall. It's where you got all the pictures of everybody.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in your hall, yes.
Yes, I got a
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, that's what we call it. It's 10-foot hall, and it's got pictures that my artist son has made, and I've got a couple from Falling Waters, and a needlepoint from my great grandmother, and then photographs, lots of photographs. I gotta get a Powerhouse Studios photograph. Don't
What?
I? Yes, I do.
Oh, yes.
To go in my Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
We need to get something from Christmas a year ago. I was looking through my pictures on my phone today, and I go, I gotta get with Gabe and get some Powerhouse Studio Christmas pictures. Gotta
Gotta-
get some.
Yeah. Just send me a list of the ones you want. They should be by number.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I'll get Wanda to look too.
Oh, yes.
So
I would
anyway,
enjoy doing that.
I think we have
About
about 6 more minutes?
Six more minutes, yeah.
Okay. And Cousin Pam and I and another one of her relatives actually got together at her house once when this lady did a painting online, and we painted along with her on that. And Pam, if you can
Was it
remember
this
which
year?
one it was, it would have been early this year, maybe April.
So when you couldn't go anywhere, you went to.
I went to Pam's.
Yeah.
No one was going anywhere then, so we were all quarantined together.
Yeah, so you were going and doing the online stuff, which a lot of people are doing, and I guess there's nothing wrong with it other than it's to me it still feels lonely.
Yes.
Yes, and I hope it'll get over soon, and with everybody getting the vaccinations and people having it and getting over it, I'm hoping that the things will get where we can get back to a semblance of getting where people are.
Yes.
So what
Hope
did
so.
you guys paint then?
I don't remember.
So if Pam answers and say what they painted at their house.
Yes.
So
What is it, Pam?
She
And-
says flip flops on the beach.
flip-flops.
Flip-flops on the beach. I remember that. I think mine's in the back of the closet somewhere.
No, I think it's on your wall in the kitchen, is it not?
No, that's where these two were.
I know I saw the flip-flops.
I knew I had some more somewhere. They're probably in the sewing room closet now.
Yeah, she's rearranging everything so she can't find anything.
Right. But I highly suggest to anyone who's kind of lonely or wanting to get started doing art projects, go somewhere and get just a starter kit of acrylic paints. You can get brushes and small tubes of paint that you can mix together, and usually a little palette to put your paints on. The little foam plates, they have the little rectangle plates, are fabulous to use to paint with as a palette, because you can mix your paints on there, do everything you want to, and then throw the thing away. That's what the lady teaching us would do. But you would have a starter amount of paints that you could make probably 3 or 4 11 by 14 canvases with.
So if anybody's got a stack of them foam paints, bring those to Hyder Hangout so we can give it to Rick Harriman next week. So by
Yes.
Saturday, we're going to collect a bunch of stuff so I can give it to Rick on Monday. And I don't know if Rick's going to bring his son. His son has been invited, but because of school schedules and stuff, I don't know if the son's coming too, but he's an artist also. And I forget how old he is, 8, I think. Anyway, the two of them were on that Hetzel thing. And there is the Hetzel remotes that they did, the Facebook Lives. You can go on Hetzel and go back and look at them. But Rick Harriman is one of the ones that is doing that veterans thing, and I love his art also. So we're going to have him on here next Monday, and
be
he's going to talk
wonderful.
about the artist thing and his art. And we appreciate you pinch hitting. I think she did pretty good for pinch hitting, don't you? Don't you?
Absolutely.
She did wonderful.
you.
She didn't know until 4 something. And I said, Wanda, and I think Connie Esville would have come on here, but she had to really, those of you who are self-employed understand having a day that your brain is just totally fried. By the time the end of the day gets there, you can't think straight, and you certainly don't want to come on a radio show and make a blabbering idiot of yourself. So
I don't know why not. I managed to. I mean, I'm teaching people how to brush their teeth here.
So, and those of you who are on here on the radio, pass it on to your friends that we will be on YouTube Live from now on. Hit the subscribe button, and then you hit the little bell thing that's on there on YouTube, and it will let you know when we go live. And if you go to Rick's channel on YouTube, you can get on there. You can also get his WhatsApp.
Yes, I like that show.
That show, when it comes on, I get the notification, and I watch that. And the more subscribers we get and the more likes we get, the more programs we'll be able to get. So
Yes.
if you share this, subscribe, share, like, put your button on so you can get the notifications when we go live, and then we'll get more shows.
Yes, that
Especially
would be
if we
wonderful.
especially if we get somebody come work here that's like a midget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need a midget. They'll
Yeah.
make me look tall.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Need one.
And I think Rick's also advertising for a couple other DJs too, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if you need a job, get in touch with Rick through Facebook or call in or studio@tunedinradio.us. And I don't know what Rick's, is it Rick at tunedinradio.us?
It's studio.
So studio is all the ones that you want to go and tell Rick. But either one, you can contact him on Facebook or on the radio, on the app.
Yes.
Or just come on down.
Come on down
Yes.
to 260 South Broad,
Yep.
Southwest,
You'd
Cleveland.
end up down here anyway because you're going to have to audition for the spots.
That's right.
Right. And it's a nice little friendly place. Everybody's friendly here. No one's made me cry, so yay!
Even Paul.
Even Paul. Paul's our friend. And be kind to one another.
Okay, we got a few
Yeah.
more minutes.
Yeah, a couple more minutes.
Couple
Okay.
minutes.
Well, let me expound on the painting some more. Be nice to yourself as you're doing this or anything that you're learning how to do. Don't judge yourself too harshly on what you're doing. Do it to please yourself. Take some scratch paper and draw out something that you would like to paint and get it the way you want it, that the picture in your head. And then after you put it on scratch paper, put it on the canvas. And you can erase or mark over just however you want to do it until you get the picture the way you want it to be. And you can also play with the colors, mix the colors until you get the color you want. If you have to, just take a foam plate or a canvas part of it and just put little splotches of color on it and see how they look once they're dry until you get the color that you really want. Enjoy this. That's what it's for.
Well, that's what art is for, is enjoyable. It's supposed to be enjoyable.
I enjoy doing all these canvases and the others.
Well, we've got to leave, and we will see you next week. Join us on YouTube Live and tunedinradio.us.
Bye, Cousin Pam.
Good night.
See ya.